Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to go through some examples of how to convert different units of length, as well as going through some simple questions on how to find the area of different shapes. So let's get started. Now, in the metric system, the basic unit for length is the meter. So that's what they normally use. However, millimeter, centimeter, and kilometer are also used for smaller or larger distances. So basically, when it comes to conversions, these are the things that you need to know. 10 millimeters is 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters is 1 meter. 1,000 millimeters is 1 meter. 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. Now, hopefully you already know this, so then you don't need to memorize this. But basically, the idea is when it comes to changing to a larger unit, you have to divide, okay? So going from millimeter to meter, you have to divide by 1,000. Going from meter to kilometer, you divide by 1,000 because you're changing to a larger unit. To change into a smaller unit, you multiply by 1,000. So to go from kilometer to meter, you times it by 1,000. To go from meter to millimeter, you times by 1,000. Alright, so when that's out of the way, I'm just going to go through some examples. So let's just have a look at question 1. We have to change to meters. So that means we're converting from millimeter to meters. So we have to divide by 1,000. So what is 3,000 divided by 1,000? So that should give you 3 meters. All right, let's pick another example. This is going from 400 millimeters to meters. So like I said, when you're changing to a large unit, divide it by 1,000. So you have to divide 400 by 1,000. So to do this, you can either use a calculator or you can do this in your head, which is 0.4 meters. Okay, let's go through some other examples. So in the second one, change to kilometers. So remember, if you're converting from meters to kilometers, you're changing to a larger unit. So to convert from 4,000 meters to kilometers, you divide it by 1,000. So 4,000 divided by 1,000. Oops. So this should give you 4. So make sure you write the unit. That's the most important part. 4 kilometers. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the other examples, as hopefully you understand that to convert to kilometers from meters, you just have to divide by 1,000. Now, changing to meters. So now we're changing to a smaller unit. Okay, so let's just have a look at question, say, 19. So to convert 9.5 kilometers to meters, you have to times it by 1,000, right? Because see, kilometers to meters times by 1,000. And for those of you that are curious, kilo, the word kilo, it actually means 1,000. So you can either type this in a calculator or you can work it out yourself. This should be 9,500 meters. Okay. Excuse my bad handwriting. Let's have a look at the last one. Change to millimeters. So this is also changing to a smaller unit from the meters. So you just simply times by 1,000. So let's just do question 31. All right, so 31 is, so to convert it to millimeters from meters, you times it by 1,000. So it's 0.72 times it by 1,000. Okay, so this should be quite straightforward. This is equal to, you can type on a calculator if you want, so it's 720. 720 millimeters. It's a little bit laggy, but 720. Okay. Now that's out of the way. Now let's go through some B questions, as B questions are normally a little bit more challenging. Okay. So let's pick a random one. So let me think. How about, the centimeter. We haven't come across questions where there's centimeters. So let's do question 10. So 450 centimeters to meters. Now, so are we converting to a large unit or smaller unit? We're converting to a large unit because meter is bigger than centimeter. So we have to divide. Now, how much do we divide? So as you can see, 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter, right? So then the question asks you, how many meters is 450 centimeters? So what you can do is you can do a cross multiplication method where you do 450 times by 1 divided by 100. Okay. Or you can just do 450 divided by 100, and that should give you 4.5 meters. Alright. So hopefully that was clear. Let's go through another more complicated example. Let's do question the 11. Okay. So 11 is also a centimeter question. 150 centimeters is how many, 150 millimeters is how many centimeters. Okay, so before we do this, we need to know if we're going to a larger or smaller unit. We're going to a larger unit because centimeter is bigger than millimeter, so we have to divide. Now, what's the relationship between centimeter and millimeter? As you can see, 10 millimeters is 1 centimeter. Right? So if 10 millimeters is 1 centimeter, then how many centimeters is 150 millimeters? So make sure you line these statements up. So like I said before, you can use the cross multiplication method where you multiply 150 with the 1, then you divide it by 10. And if you do that, you should get 15 centimeters. All right. Now, I'm going to go through just a few more examples just so that this is completely clear. But make sure that when you do these questions, you refer to this table above. And for extra challenge, try to do it without this table. As in the exam, it's most likely they will not provide you with this table and you'll have to kind of memorize these results. Okay. So let's have a look at question 32. Okay. 32, we're also going to a larger unit from millimeter to meter. So that means we have to divide by 1,000. So we need to know the relationship between millimeter and meter. So millimeter and meter is, you just divide by 1,000. It says here, to convert from millimeter to meter, you divide it by 1,000. So then you just have to do 635 divided by 1,000. So this should give you 0.635 meters. Make sure you write the unit. Alright, so hopefully this is enough examples for you to get started. Now, I'm going to go on to part C. It says, for each question, write the length that is longer. So this is even more challenging now because we're in the dangerous territory, which is part C. Alright, so now to do this, you need to make sure you convert both of the units into the same unit, in other words, because you can't compare centimeters to millimeters. So what you can do is you either convert 5.7 centimeters to millimeters, or you convert 560 millimeters to centimeters. So it doesn't matter which one you do, but I'm just gonna convert the 5.7 centimeters into millimeters. Okay. So we know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters, right? So if 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters, then how many millimeters is 5.7 centimeters? So what you can do is you can do the cross multiplication method. So 5.7 times 10 divided by 1, which is 57. Alright, so now we've converted 5.7 centimeters into millimeters. So now the question becomes a lot easier. Which length is longer? 57 millimeters or 560 millimeters? Well, the answer is 560 millimeters. So therefore the answer is 560 millimeters. Right. Let's go through another example. Let's say question 11. Question 11 says, okay, 95 meters or 96,500 millimeters. So doesn't matter which one you convert. So I'm just going to pick to convert the 95 meters to millimeters. So if 1 meter, so that's changing to small unit. If 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeters, then how many millimeters is 95 meters? So if 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeters, how many millimeters is 95 meters? So one way is to just multiply this number by 95, or you can use the cross multiplication method. 95 times 1,000 divided by 1, so which is 95,000. Okay, so now we have converted 95 meters into millimeters. So which one is longer? So is it the 95,000 millimeters, or is it 96,500 millimeters? So it's going to be that one, right? So then you have to write your answer. So 96,500 millimeters. Oops, forgot the 0 here. All right, so that's the answer. Tell you what, I'm just going to go through one more just to make sure that you fully understand what's going on here. So let's just pick question 17. Question 17 is a bit challenging. And the reason it's a bit challenging is because now you have centimeters and kilometers to work with. Okay. So let's see. So let's try and convert 8,000 centimeters into km. Now it's a bit challenging, but we can get there. So we know that there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter, right? So if there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter, then how do we convert 1 meter into km? Because we want to find the relationship between centimeters and kilometers. So to convert from meters to km, we have to divide by 1,000, right? You see here, meters to km, divide by 1,000. So then what we need to do is 100 centimeters is equal to 1 divided by 1,000 kilometers. Now, what is this? So you can type this onto your calculator, but essentially this is going to give you 0.001 km. So that's the relationship between 100 centimeters and kilometers. Now this question says, how many kilometers is 8,000 centimeters? So to do this, you can use the cross multiplication method. You do 8,000 times by 0.001 divided by 100. So if you use your calculator, what you should get is 0.08 kilometers. Okay. So then now you're comparing which one is longer. Is it 0.08 kilometers or is it 0.85 kilometers? So I think 0.85 is bigger than 0.08. So then the answer is 0.85 kilometers. Okay, so just like I said earlier, part C is designed to be quite challenging, so don't worry too much if you cannot do some of the questions. Just make sure you watch the video and try to find a relationship between each of the two units. And then you need to convert one of the units into the other unit, and hopefully you can do some of these questions. Okay, now I'll leave you to it. Good luck.